So today I want to share with you 5 tips that are going to help you make sure that your smartphone lasts longer. That is, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android phone, you don't have to change your phone until you're ready to actually change your phone, and you're not going to have any issues throughout the time or the lifetime of the smartphone. Welcome back to Kagan Tech. My name is Kagan, and Clairwood, their father, is back. Who wrote this intro?
Are you asking me?
Tip number 1 is to actually check your charging habits. One thing a lot of people don't know about their smartphones in this day and age is that you're actually supposed to maintain your battery between 20% and 80%.
Why?
You're not supposed to charge your phone full every single time you get an opportunity to charge it, and you're not supposed to let your battery dip below 20% or straight up die. You're actually damaging the performance of the battery and the longevity of the battery if you're allowing these things happen. Now, obviously, I don't expect you to be wasting your time monitoring the charging percentage of your phone every single time you plug it, which is why things like the iPhone have something called optimized battery charging, which you can turn on in settings, battery, optimized battery charging.
Not bad.
Now, some Android phones also have some sort of optimized battery charging setting, but I can't really name all of them because there are so many Android phones out at this point. It would be impossible. If I started trying to name every single one, we'd be here till next week. But checking your charging habits pretty much guarantees that your phone's battery is not going to get really bad, and then you're going to be able to use the phone for a longer period of time. The second thing I'd like to talk about is using cases and screen protectors. You probably can't see it right now, but there's a screen protector on my phone. Here is what using cases and screen protectors do for you. First off, if you have a case on your phone, if it drops, chances of it getting significantly damaged becomes relatively low, especially if you buy a really good case. If you drop your phone, you're almost guaranteed it's not going to break, especially if it's just an average or everyday day-to-day type of drop. And as for screen protectors, I think those are self-explanatory. I mean, sometimes they don't really do what they say they're supposed to do, but for the most part, they actually help. First off, they prevent micro scratches from damaging your screen, right? So if you're the kind of person who puts your phone inside of your pocket with your keys and everything, you don't have to worry about the screen of your phone actually getting a bunch of scratches and then looking nasty. There's also the fact that on some certain types of drops, the screen protector is going to get cracked, it's going to get damaged, but the actual screen itself will not get damaged if you buy a really good screen protector. Now, understandably, some people don't care. They would rather just use their phone without cases or screen protectors. To each his own. But if you're trying to protect your phone and make sure it lasts longer, and also if you decide to sell the phone later, you want to be able to get the best or highest value for that phone, you need to use a case and a screen protector.
Not bad.
Tip number 3 is it and the environment you actually use your phone. You need to make sure you're not using your phone in environments that actually are very hot or uncomfortable for the battery or the general performance of the phone. You might notice that when your phone is hot, it doesn't perform as well as it does when it's not warm to the touch. You may also notice that your battery dies faster when you're out in direct sunlight and your phone is really hot and your screen is fully bright and you're still using your phone. It's important to understand that these devices, while they can withstand these really difficult conditions, the more you actually make them withstand these types of conditions, the quicker the phone is going to get damaged. So you want to actually avoid using your phone in situations where it's extremely hot or extremely uncomfortable for the device or its battery. Beyond destroying the performance of the phone in that moment, ruining the battery life, you're actually damaging the performance and battery life of that phone over time.
That is pretty scary.
And tip number 4 is pretty much watching how you store your phone or how you keep your phone away. I previously spoke about people who keep their phones in their pocket with their car keys and other keys and stuff, and then the jangling and the sharp edges of that key will pretty much cause micro scratches all over their phone. That's not ideal. And then there's also ladies who like to have pretty much everything they own in their bag. They're gonna go out with a makeup kit, they're gonna go out with Pampers, they're gonna go out with diapers, they're gonna go out with cutlass, a gun, pepper spray. Everything is inside their bag. If you're looking for mortar and pestle, you find it inside the lady's bag.
Not surprised.
And those same ladies will simply take their phone and dump it inside of that bag, and that's it. They don't even care what it might be eating up against, they don't care what it might be squeezing up against, they don't care what's happening to the phone while it's inside of that bag. And then eventually one day they bring out their phone and the screen is no longer working. Are you surprised? A fine example of somebody who I know who this recently happened to was my video editor Eugene. He had his S23 Ultra inside of his bag where he had a bunch of cartons and a bunch of other devices. By the time he brought the phone out, half of the screen was no longer working. Gone. Otilo. So please don't be like my editor and actually take care of the places where you store your phone so that you don't have to cry about it later. And tip number 5 is actually updating the software of your phone and updating the applications you have on the phone. Because believe it or not, this could actually be significantly detrimental to the health of your smartphone.
What?
I once had an experience where downloading the My MTN app actually caused my phone to have a battery drain that was significant and start overheating. Only for me to later realize that the reason why this was happening was not a software update or anything, it was just one application that I downloaded and wanted to test out. But of course, after a few weeks or few days, I'm not sure, MTN actually updated that application and it was no longer an issue. Now imagine I didn't actually take the time to update that application when there was a new version of it.
That'd be crazy.
And this also ties into people who actually like to download applications and completely forget about them. If there's an application on your phone that you don't use, get rid of it.
Why would I? Why?
You haven't touched that application for 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. It doesn't need to be taking space on your phone. And when there's a software update and your phone is compatible, as long as you're not using a stolen phone, a worldwide unlocked phone or anything like that, chip unlocked, you can update your phone with peace of mind.
Peaceful? I don't know.
Update the software of your phone as regularly as possible, especially when you see security updates. Update the applications in your phone as regularly as possible because that also helps the applications perform better. Sometimes developers make mistakes too.
They shouldn't.
And just generally speaking, keep your phone up to date so that the health of the phone will not deteriorate. Anyways, those were 5 tips that can actually help you keep your phone lasting as long as possible, and you don't have to worry about changing your phone until you're ready to actually splurge and get a better phone or a newer phone. I recently made a video about 4 tips that help you make your iPhone practically unstealable. If you'd like to watch that, the video will be linked here. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I will see you on another video that was shot by Kagan. Also, you're welcome.